everybody. How's it going? Hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Please let me know in the comments if you can see me okay, if you can hear me okay. Oh wow, we already got almost 100 people in here, so that's exciting. Welcome everybody. Hello to Jim Ross. Hello to Georgie. Bob from Florida, Pete in Montana. Lovely to see you guys here today. So we are officially in Dnipro or Dnipropetrovsk. The name was actually just changed in 2016. Some of you guys may already know that a lot of cities in Ukraine have kind of taken on the more Ukrainian sounding spelling in the last few years. I actually don't know why Dnipropetrovsk became just Dnipro, so maybe somebody can actually let us know in the comments. But that is the new official name, and it is the fourth largest city here in Ukraine. It basically goes Kiev with 3 million, then Kharkov with almost 2 million. I thought it was 1.5, but apparently it's almost 2. Then it's Odessa with like 1.2 or something. And then here is Dnipro with about 1 million people. So that's actually quite a bit of people. Oh, we got David here. Welcome. We have Shannon from NYC. We got Shigeru from Tokyo. Very cool. Glenn Shipley from Sarasota, Florida. Ismail from Argentina. Oh my God, we got everybody from all over the world. I love it. Okay guys, so we have quite a tour planned. I have quite a walk for you. So I hope you're ready. But the first thing that we are going to start with is definitely something a bit odd. And I'm only going by my own observations of what it is, because on Google Maps and online there's not really a lot of information. So I'm in probably, I guess, the second largest park here in Dnipro. Let me give you a little look around without revealing what it is I'm going to show you just yet. So of course we have another little Soviet amusement park and lovely Ferris wheel as well. And over here is this strange, large building right on the water. It's kind of a man-made lake here in the middle of the park. But on first glance, you know, it just looks like, okay, well, they built like kind of a stadium of some sort on the water, or like a concert hall or something. Like, that's cool, right? Now that could be it. Maybe that's what it is. But you know what makes me think that it's something else is those dolphins. I don't think that they would put dolphins on here unless there were actually dolphins inside there somewhere at some point. Obviously not now. Obviously it's the ducks' territory. But could it have been that in the Soviet Union, when this building was actually in function, because it is definitely all, you know, kind of depreciating in the current state, but I wonder, were there actually dolphin shows in here? Because I tried to kind of go around and take a little peek, and it looks like there's some kind of like water chasm in the middle. So that's probably not super ethical, obviously, keeping dolphins in like such a small lake. I guess it's not different in all the different kinds of other captivities that we have nowadays, but I just thought that this was so random. Where did they really have a dolphinarium in the middle of a park? I've never seen anything like that before, so I thought that was an interesting thing to start off our journey with. Let us take a little tour around the building, and you guys can see it from a different angle. And as we're getting started, I would like to thank whoever sent the super chat that I see in my dollar amount. I unfortunately can't see who sent it, so because it was sent before the stream started. So whoever did, Thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. Oh, that sun is bad. I'm gonna flip the camera. But yeah, we got Ducks Unlimited going on here. I'm sure they're very happy to be fed by the local population every day. But yeah, this is a lovely, lovely park, and it's called Lazaria Holby Park. My pronunciation probably isn't correct because I think it's more of a Ukrainian name, but that's the general way it sounds. But like, look at this, right? What a strange building. Like, definitely Soviet architecture, like absolutely perfect. That with a old Ferris wheel is just Soviet era greatness. Very strange. I wonder if they are going to tear it down at some point and make it into something else. Let's see here. It's actually been very impressive to me that both Kharkiv and Dnipro, which both of these cities I haven't been to before, are actually very green. Like, there's a lot of beautiful parks, lots of great spaces for people to just relax and socialize, bring the kids. Super nice. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys can see in there, but you can kind of see some seats, and from the other side you can kind of see a space for like possibly dolphins. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's all closed off, so you obviously can't go inside there either, but definitely one of the weirdest buildings I've seen in Ukraine. Just want to say a big thank you to the super chats that just came in. Martin, thank you so much. Hello from Sweden. How are you doing, Alina? Is it cold there? I'm always liking your video and your lives. Thank you so much, Martin. I'm doing well. I am a little tired. I've chugged like 3 coffees today because it's just been one of those days, and it's actually pretty good weather. Like, it's a little chilly. It's definitely autumnal, but nowhere as cold as Kharkiv was. I got the worst weather, unfortunately, for most of the time that I was there, but here in Dnipro, it's actually been quite nice, so it's been a very welcome change. So thank you so much, Martin. And then a big thank you to Jim Ross. Thank you for coming out as always, Jim. Quite a walk. I don't know if my legs can take it. Wait, you're going to be doing the walk and talk so I can't feel the pain. Looking forward to what you'll show. Well, thank you very much, Jim. Yeah, I actually did this walk the first full day that I got in here. And my thing on my phone that tells you how many steps you've did said I did 22,000. So I was pretty tired after that day. So I hope you guys enjoy it, because I am definitely going to be sore by the end of it. Oh, Ina, who probably knows better than me, says the dolphins are only the decoration. This building used to be a sort of summer theater for different kinds of shows. Okay, good. I'm glad no dolphins were hurt in the production of this building, but I just thought it would be weird to like put dolphins on something if the dolphins weren't performing there, but I hope that wasn't the case. So actually, very cool building then. Oh, we got 2 super chats. One has Japanese characters there, so I'm sorry I cannot read Japanese, but thank you so much for the super chat. Greatly appreciated. And then there is a lovely super sticker from Dolores. Thank you so much, Dolores. Good job. Thank you so much. Hope you're having a great day. You guys are so kind. Kenny says, hi, Alina. Dnipro was the first city I visited in Ukraine. I've been back a few times and now have friends there. It's nice down by the river, one of the longest promenades. Yes, so that's actually where we're going to end up today, with a lovely view of the Dnipro. There's a lot of different things that we're going to see on the way, but basically I wanted to start at one end, make our way through downtown, and then we will end with a spectacular view. So stay tuned, friends. I'm going to give you one last look at thankfully not a dolphinarium, just a Soviet on the water performance hall. Oh, and thank you so much to Michael, Hub of Truth, for coming out. Hope you and Alina are doing good. Thank you to Daryl for coming out, and thank you to both of you for the PayPals earlier today. Thank you guys so much. Daryl asks, what is their major industry now? I don't know exactly what it is now, to be honest. It does look like it is a big business center. I was surprised to see a lot of high rises, a lot of office buildings. This is a very big political center for Ukraine as well. So I think it has taken on more of that side of things, because for a long time it actually was, actually this part's really important, so I'm going to flip the camera on myself. So in the Soviet Union, Dnipro was actually well, the sun is not cooperating. During the Soviet Union, Dnipro was a closed city. So that basically means that unless you lived here, you would have to get like special permission to be able to come into the city, to even just stay overnight, because this was one of the main industrial areas for nuclear things that they were making, for like military stuff. It even has a connection to the space industry, so the Soviets were cooking up all that kind of stuff here in Dnipro, and so it was a closed city basically until the Soviet Union broke apart. So it was in the 1990s that it actually opened up to the rest of the world and people could actually come visit. So that's kind of another interesting part of the city's history. And there is also still a lot of like factories, especially on the left bank of the city. As you guys will see as we get to the boardwalk, the city is basically connected, or I mean separated by two like parts, the left bank and the right bank. It's connected by this really big bridge. And so we are on the main downtown area right bank, and it's on the left bank where there's a lot of like factories and industrial kind of stuff. So that's just another thing to mention. So before we leave this lovely pond thing they got going on, let me give you guys a view of just how nice this is. Look at the lovely boats that you can rent for 100 hryvnias, which is like $4 US, 5 Canadian dollars, for half an hour. How nice. So we are going to keep going this way. Yeah, somebody had made the comment that Kenny White said famous for metal work and rockets. Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure to what extent it is now, but in the Soviet Union, yeah, they made like missiles and rockets and all that kind of stuff here. Top secret sort of stuff. Just reading your comments here, guys. Pete in Montana says, very interesting. I may go to Dnipro when I go to Kremenchuk summer 2022. That is awesome. Yeah, you should definitely check it out. The other really surprising thing for me, just walking around the downtown core, is just how much construction there is. Like, there's a lot of parts of downtown that are fully built, that are really nice. But honestly, a lot of it is just under construction, but it looks like really nice construction. So this city is going to look totally different even in just a couple of years. We got a huge Ukrainian flag here. How lovely. Aw. Oh my goodness, my friend Alex Wallace. Thank you so much, Alex. That is such a generous super chat. You never get it wrong. Keep at it. Be safe and healthy. Thank you so much, Alex. That is so kind of you. Hope you're having a great day, and thank you so much for coming out today. I really appreciate it. Aw, it's so amazing to know so many wonderful people all across the world. I think, you know, when you travel, you really, you know, you never know who you're going to meet. You never know how you're going to meet. I meet people in the most like random but awesome ways. So Alex, you're no exception. So glad we met. So guys, we actually are going to be exiting the park here pretty quickly. So this is kind of the secondary part of it, just like a nice square where people can sit. And we are actually going to exit out of the side gates because there's something on the other side of the road that I want to show you. But comment actually who has been here before, or actually who is from here, who has been to Dnipro. I would be interested to know, because most tourists, I mean, that I talk to definitely have not been to this city, but even many Ukrainians haven't been to this city before. So I know it's obviously not going to have as many attractions as like Kiev, Lvov, Odessa, but I think this is also an up and coming sort of city and is definitely worth a visit. So I'm kind of interested to hear who has been here before. Aw. Whoops. Thank you so much for the super chat, Ray. Dnipro looks wonderful. Scotland next, maybe. Oh, I actually think it's going to be somewhere a lot warmer than Scotland next. But Scotland has definitely been on my list for quite a while because my dad, or stepdad, Gordon, has heritage in Scotland. So I've always wanted to take him on a trip there sometime. So it is definitely on the list. Just in warmer weather though. So thank you so much, Ray. Just gonna flip here, guys, while I read your comments. David Melland writes, "Hi Alina, my friends think I'm crazy, but I'm planning on quitting my high-paying corporate job in Seattle to move to Ukraine. Thanks for your videos." You are most welcome, and no, you are not crazy. I'm actually surprised at how many foreigners are actually considering just that, and it is with good reason. Whether you have money that you can, basically retire on here, or if you can be a digital nomad and do your work remotely, or even try and get a job here. I think a lot of people are actually considering moving here in these crazy times, so you're not alone. These here are the main gates of the park. Very lovely. Oh, we got my friend Alex from Reporterfy Media in the comments. You guys definitely have to go check out Alex's channel because he has been posting some insane content about China. I think he's like one of the few foreigners, and especially travel YouTubers, fellow Canadian, who is there right now after a 3-week quarantine. So that is a channel you guys definitely have to check out, and I'll be going to visit Alex and his wife Yulia at some point once China doesn't have as intense of restrictions as it does now. I will definitely be making my way over there. So thank you so much for coming out, Alex. Hope you are doing good. Okay, guys, let me flip here. So, if you have seen some of the other Soviet bloggers, obviously I assume you watch other channels similar to mine, you'll know that Dnipro has a very short metro line, very short. Right now it has 6 stops, as you can see on this picture. but they are building more, so good for them. This is definitely a city that is expanding. And I actually haven't gone on the subway yet, but I think I will tomorrow for the first time. And apparently it takes just like 10 minutes to ride from one side to the other. It's just like 10 minutes and you've seen the whole thing. But all down this main sort of street, I think that is where the line is being extended. So you'll kind of see a lot of construction in the middle as we kind of pass the downtown core. But good for them, because I mean, building metro stops is not cheap. Like usually they'll just put on, you know, above ground sort of trains to usually save money, but they are continuing with an actual underground metro. So good for Dnipro. Oh, I think I missed a super chat. Where did it? Vinod Pund, thank you so much. Hi Alina, great job. We enjoyed your live video from India. Very cool. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. And I hear that India is actually set to open for this winter, if I read correctly, which is very exciting because I don't think they've been open at all during the pandemic to tourism as far as I know. So that is an exciting change that is happening. Very interested to see what the rules will be to get in. So thank you for the super chat. All right, guys, we got to get across the street here to our next little thing I wanted to show you as we make our way towards downtown. Overall, I would say that Dnipro is quite a walkable city. I've been walking basically everywhere. I mean, you can take Bolts or whatever, you know, Uber type rideshare things if you need to get somewhere really quick. But I would say that if you stay in the downtown core, you can basically just walk everywhere. Aw, Mito says my mom is here. Somehow I missed her comment. But привет, Mom. Thank you for coming out. Love you so much. All right, here. So, guys, this building, once we get closer to it, you'll have a better view. But this building is their opera and ballet theater, as every major former Soviet city should have its own ballet and opera house. So this one's obviously not as grand as the ones, you know, in Odessa and Kiev and Lviv, but it's nice. It's very nice. I actually wanted to take in a show, but unfortunately there wasn't any playing for the dates that I'm here, other than I think tonight. Yeah, tonight is Белоснежка. Can anybody guess what that is? It is Snow White. So I'm going to be doing the live stream when that starts, but always a cool idea to go to an opera or a ballet when you are in Ukraine, because you don't have to know Ukrainian or Russian. You just watch the dancing or listen to the singing. It's a universal sort of experience, you could say. I'll just take you guys to the lovely fountains as well, give you a look of that. Just a quick thing that came up off the top of my head is, even though Dnipro is like the fourth largest city in Ukraine, so it's by no means a small city with 1 million people, but I don't know, compared to Kharkiv, there's something about it that just feels more like, what's the word? Just like more local, like smaller, you know, kind of that feeling of like a tight-knit community in a weird way. Like, it's a big city, but in a way it kind of doesn't feel like one, if that makes sense. So it's been nice. People are super friendly here and very welcoming. And they don't get a lot of like foreigners, you know, as visitors. So actually it was really funny. Let me just tell this story. where I'm actually staying in a hostel right now. You guys will hear why in my video when it comes out, but it's funny because I'm referred to as the foreigner in the hostel. Everyone was like, "Did you hear there's a foreigner? Like, did you hear we have somebody like visiting us from abroad?" And I'm like, well, that's technically true, but like I was born in Ukraine. You know, I don't know how much of a foreigner that makes me, but that was, you know, kind of cute of them to put it like that. So you guys come visit Dnipro so they can have, you know, more tourists and more foreigners to welcome, because I think, you know, they get pretty excited about that. It's really sweet. All right, so beautiful fountain here. Really nice. So let's start heading towards downtown. I'll give you guys a view of that. Aw, nice to see you here, Brianna. Thank you for coming out. Oh, Gediminas, thank you so much. Yes, if you guys noticed, my hair is different. I will explain just as soon as I get across the light here. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay, yeah, so obviously new hair. Got it done yesterday, and I just decided to go to a color that's very close. Sun's not shining. A color very close to my natural color, just because when I got it dyed so light in Armenia, I loved it. It looked amazing, you know, when it's all fresh and new and doesn't have like dark regrowth coming out. And I dyed it once more before I left Armenia, but I just realized that, you know, it's so much upkeep. You know, you have to basically every month go to the salon and get everything touched up, and, you know, it's not really good for the quality of your hair either to be, you know, bleaching it all the time. So I just decided to get something a bit more natural, and also got a haircut. So I found a nice little local salon, and they actually did both for basically $50, 50 Canadian dollars, which is like 40 American. And I think something like that in Toronto, that would cost, gosh, at least like 120, like easily 120 Canadian dollars. And then, you know, plus tip, plus 13% tax. So very happy about the prices here. But thank you for noticing, Gediminas. Many men miss those kinds of things, so thank you for noticing. Greatly appreciated. Give you guys a view of the street here as we walk. But it's kind of a cool structure of the streets, where they do have like the streetcar tracks in the middle, but also a park in the middle, which is quite nice. And then they just have like storefronts and stuff on each side. Very wide sort of boulevards. Oh, thank you, Alex, that my streaming quality is excellent. I'm glad. Yeah, I think it's kind of two factors where I think switching providers really helped, because I found that Lifecell, even though it's a fairly good like connection for anything other than streaming, for streaming it would like be fine and then it would go out. So it wasn't very consistent. Kyivstar on a whole, I think, is much better, because it's supposed to have the widest network in Ukraine. And then also I think it kind of depends on the city and just, you know, what their connection is like and what their servers are like. So I'm glad that the quality is much better than it was before. Hello to Devin from Illinois. Oh, and do we have somebody who's from Prince Albert? Very nice. Robbie asks, where did I get my lovely yellow coat from? Funny enough, I actually bought it here in Ukraine the last time I was here, which I guess was January 2020. I got it for a crazy good deal, and I decided to actually leave it here because my bags were too full. Shocking. And I just thought, oh well, you know, I'll wear it next time that I'm here, and I can just, you know, keep it so I don't have to constantly be buying something new for the fall if I come here in that season. So I think I'm actually going to do that more, where I'll keep some clothes in Canada, keep some clothes in Ukraine, so I don't constantly have to be buying new stuff and then getting rid of it, you know, when the weather changes as well. Because now if I'm going to go somewhere warmer for the winter, you know, I'm not going to take my warm stuff with me. I'll just leave it here. A super chat from Jim Ross. By the way, I agree with your Instagram about getting your hair done. Damn, I was beaten to the punch as I typed too slowly. Sorry, I can't seem to get it to stop moving, but it says it plays well with the sun. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, Jim. Greatly appreciated. Yeah, I was very happy to get it done, because actually I was planning on waiting till I get to Kiev, because, you know, you think Kiev is going to have the best spots, and probably it does. Probably has the best salons in the city. But I messaged, you know, a few of the top salons, and like some of them quoted me insane prices. I mean, insane for me. I'm sure, you know, to somebody who's like a multimillionaire, no problem. But like some salons were quoting me like $500. And I'm like, is that really your price? Or are you like just trying to like screw me over because I messaged them on Instagram, and obviously they could see I'm like a foreigner even though I messaged them in Russian. But I don't know. I mean, absolutely nothing wrong with charging crazy prices. Everybody should be able to set their own prices, and they were, you know, really good at it. But like $500, I've never even had that quoted to me in Canada. So to get quoted that in Ukraine, I was like really? That's a bit much. Oh, this is cool. Look at this mural, guys. Got Superman. Very well done. Lots of people are asking what the temperature is here. It's very nice right now. It's probably maybe 13, 14 degrees, but without wind, because that definitely changes things. Anytime the wind is strong here, I find it's like, it feels at least 5 degrees colder. So right now it's actually great. Dan asks, is Dnipro more Ukrainian or Russian speaking? You know, it's probably a bit more Russian, just from what I hear on the street. But compared to Kharkiv, if you go to restaurants and shops, there is more Ukrainian speaking. Like, they're technically all like, you know, people in the supermarkets and restaurants are technically supposed to speak to you in Ukrainian now. Like, that's the rules that they've kind of made. But in Kharkiv, absolutely not. Like, almost everybody still spoke Russian. But here in Dnipro, I would say that, yeah, if you go into a restaurant or a store, maybe 60% of the time they'll talk to you in Ukrainian to begin with. But having said that, as soon as I speak to them in Russian, a lot of them actually will switch over to Russian right away. That's not always the case everywhere, which makes it challenging for me. Like in Kiev, it's super common to, you know, one person speaks in Ukrainian, one speaks in Russian, and like that's not a problem, except for in my case where I actually don't understand them. So here in Dnipro, I'd say, yeah, they usually just switch over to Russian if you start speaking in Russian to them, and on the street you'll hear more Russian as well. But, you know, in time that may change. See 2 super chats here. Thank you so much to SS. Which language would you recommend that someone moving to Ukraine learn, Russian or Ukrainian? Which would be the most useful in daily life? Probably knowing both would be ideal, but if you only had the time to learn one or the other. Good question, and thank you so much for the super chat. So here's the thing. If you're going to live in Ukraine full time, like you're actually going to make this your base, and you're not as interested in going to other post-Soviet countries, and you know, obviously knowing Russian would be much more helpful in that regard. If you are just going to stay in Ukraine, probably best to learn Ukrainian, because you know, 10 years down the road it probably will be much more prevalent. But just from a personal note and personal experience, and unless you're going to be living like right in the west of Ukraine, I would say that you'd be absolutely fine with Russian, and it's far more helpful, you know, worldwide. Like, I'm so grateful that I know Russian, because look how much it's helped me with like my travels to Armenia or Kazakhstan, like basically any of the post-Soviet countries, which is 15 of them altogether, including Russia. Most, like, not, I don't know what percentage, but a lot of people still speak Russian. Like in Armenia, it was absolutely no problem. So for me, I would say it makes much more sense to invest all that time to learn Russian. But if you're going to live in Ukraine full time, if you want to have a job like working in Ukraine, then definitely Ukrainian would be best. So that's my 2 cents. Hope that helps. And thank you once again for the super chat. Oh no, Bon Jovi, copywritten music. 1 second here, guys. I'm gonna keep talking, so hopefully it doesn't pick it up. But Mark Brenier, thank you so much for the super chat. Hello from Texas. When will you do a collab with Taya Ukraine? Great question, Mark, and thank you for the super chat. I was gonna announce this later, but I guess I can tell you guys now that I'm actually having a change in plans, where I was going to go to Zaporozhye after Dnipro on Tuesday, but I just had something come up that I did not expect, and it's an opportunity that I'd like to do. I know I'm being super vague, but basically what it means is I have to go back to Kiev actually Monday night. I'm getting on the train and going to be back in Kiev on Tuesday morning. So to get to the point of your question, I'm going to actually collaborate with Taya this next week. So I think our video will be out probably a week and a half from now. So that's a positive, where yeah, I'm gonna collaborate with her, and then I think I'm gonna also collab with Connor from Tsar Experience probably after her in a couple of weeks. So once I spend a few weeks in Kiev, I'll be back on the road for a little bit before leaving Ukraine as well, but things just kind of changed a little bit from my current plans. So guys, now that we've ran away from Bon Jovi, at least I hope we have, this is the central square of the city, and it's really nice. They kind of have carousel sitting area. We got some malls here, and over here they actually have a sort of stage area where sometimes they have concerts and stuff like that. Another Univermag over here. So we're actually going to head that way in just a minute here. But I do not want to miss a super chat from Brianna. Thank you so much, lovely. Here's a little help with dinner from Maria Z and Brianna B. Great color in your hair. Well, thank you so much, ladies. That is so sweet of you. And thank you. I'm happy with it as well. You know, I might like it so much that maybe I'll go even darker. I think this is the darkest that I've been in a long time. But you know, maybe I'll go even darker. We'll see. But thank you so much, ladies. Hope you're having a great night. Oh, Shigeru, thank you so much. Here's looking at you, Alina. Cheers. Well, cheers, Shigeru. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming out as always. Hope you're having a fabulous, what time is it there? Very late evening. So thank you so much for coming out. Okay, guys, let's get across the street here. Look at the lovely streetcar. And we're gonna run across and continue on with our walk. One surprising thing, though, that I found here in Dnipro, and I'll touch on it more in the video that I do from here, is that while there are some really nice like hotels and there's some really good Airbnbs, things were significantly more expensive than I was expecting them to be. I thought that, okay, Kharkiv and Kiev and Odessa in its like summer season are of course going to be the most expensive sort of cities. But like the prices here for accommodation were honestly much more than I thought they would be. I don't know if maybe there's some kind of, conference or event or something going on that I'm not aware of, but it was definitely much more than I was expecting. Let me run across the street here. All right. But my hostel is an amazing price, so I was very happy with it. It's like the best rated one in the city, and it's $8 a night. That's $8 US actually, I guess, 10 Canadian. Very reasonable. Just gonna try and not get run over. What is this dude doing? Sec, guys. Gotta wait for my opening. All right, this guy's turning. All right, so I want to take you guys on this side of the street first, because there's kind of a new mall complex and just like seating area that they built that I thought was really nice, that I wanted to show you guys. And then we're actually going to go over to the other side afterwards, because that is what's going to take us to a few other attractions and turning onto the boardwalk. So as we walk here now, I'm going to look over your comments here. Yes, Shannon, we are going to a big church. Well, actually not the big church that you guys just saw, but one of the most famous cathedrals we will see later on in the live stream. Aw, thank you very much to Evgeny. Спасибо большое. Thank you so much for the lovely super sticker. That is very kind of you. And yes, guys, we will see the river. I know that that's like the main attraction, but I purposefully left it for last, for ending there, because usually people join my live streams, a little bit later. I've had to start them an hour earlier than usual just because it is getting so much, darker with winter coming along. So I thought that I would leave the river until, an hour and a half in or whatever into the live stream, so more people will be able to see it, or at least that's my hope. So don't think that I'm gonna leave that out. All right, let me flip here. Vodafone. I actually was initially going to get Vodafone instead of Kyivstar, and then Vodafone had like a huge lineup to the one that I went into in Kiev, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'll go to Kyivstar, and I'm glad I did. This is a Ukraine, oh Jesus, kid. This is a chain that you guys definitely have to check out if you are in Ukraine. It is Lviv handmade chocolates, and it's more or less a cafe as well, where you can get like really good hot chocolate, melted chocolate, and it's really quaint and is in basically all the major Ukrainian cities. So if you guys are in Ukraine, definitely check out this place. Oh, did I miss a super chat? Nathalie, thank you so much, Nathalie. Good morning, Alina from New Brunswick. I hope you're having a great time in Dnipro. Again, I know 2 families from there, and it's great to discover it more through your videos, and your hair looks amazing. Thank you so much, lovely. That's so sweet of you. And honestly, it's so impressive that, you know, you guys are doing the work you're doing and giving Ukrainians more opportunities. So I'm very excited to get your feedback when you come to these places and see them for yourself, because it's definitely changing and will be quite a beautiful city in the next few years. So thank you so much, Nathalie. Hope you're doing good. One sec, guys. I think I'm having a slight issue with my scrolling through my comments, so just give me 1 sec here while I figure that out. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze now. 1 second. Oh, that's disappointing. My sneeze went away. Oh, that's the worst feeling. Oh gosh. Oh wow, we have almost 400 people in here. Fantastic. Thank you so much for the kind compliment to Robert Lewis. Language learning with Camille asks, just a random question for you, Alina. How much would you say you can understand of Polish? Would you visit Poland? So I went to Poland, gosh, not 10 years ago, but maybe 7 or 8 years ago. And I had a really great time. I went to Krakow and Zakopane, went into the mountains and stuff. And I didn't understand a lot of Polish, to be honest. I know there are some, you know, similarities with all Slavic languages, but other than just like some odd words here and there, definitely didn't understand a lot. Like, I understand a bit of Ukrainian, obviously, because I think Russian and Ukrainian have far more similarities than like Russian and Polish. But yeah, it was difficult in Poland if I was to not have people around that spoke English, but I found most of the places that I went at the time were fairly English friendly, thankfully, but would love to go again. I don't think that kid was trying to pickpocket me, guys. He was just on a skateboard. It's actually crazy because some of you may know where I'm planning on going next, and you could say that it's substantially more dangerous. Oh, shoot. 1 sec. I thought I was going the wrong way for a sec. And you know, you could say it's substantially more dangerous, or at least they say it is, than most of the places I usually go. And so I've been, you know, thinking to myself of like, you know, what precautions am I going to have to take in that kind of environment, you know, even just like mentally to be more aware of that kind of thing. And I actually looked up what people were saying, you know, online about the safety of Ukraine, and found this one guy who was like saying that, oh my God, Ukraine is such a dangerous country. Like, you get pickpockets everywhere, and women can't go out like by themselves late at night, and they target foreigners or something. And I was like, what? I mean, like not at all my experience or the people that I know's experience, but thankfully there was like so many comments on that article that were like, no, like I don't know what you had happen in Ukraine, but you know, so many people said that wasn't their experience. So it always is such a personal sort of opinion of like what is dangerous, right? I've never, thankfully, been pickpocketed or anything in Ukraine, so I mean, it can happen, but I don't think it's like more likely here than really anywhere else. So guys, this is just the little place that I wanted to show you, where this is a beautiful luxury mall that I think they built just a few years ago. And they have like these sort of like gardens and cafes here in the middle. A lot of really beautiful buildings, but this is kind of the area where I see a lot of new high-rises also that they're working on. So I think it's in this part of the city where it's kind of going to be the rich area, so to say, because this is kind of their version of like what would be Canadian Holt Renfrew. It's the example I could think of, but like Saks Fifth Avenue there, that's an example for my fellow Americans. So yeah, this is just like a really nice high-end area of the city. So. Нет, не видела. Извините. Oh no, that grandma left her bag. She asked me if I seen it, but I was like, no, I'm sorry. Aww. See, that can definitely happen in Ukraine. You never want to leave anything, because if something's unattended, yeah, most likely it will be taken. But as far as you know, being pickpocketed, I don't think it's more common here than, you know, any North American city anyway. But oh, I hope that lady is okay. Oh, she found it! Oh, she found it! Oh, good! She found her purse! Oh, that's a happy ending. That's a happy ending right there. At least I hope she has everything in her bag. At least her purse is there. Oh, see, good. Good, good, good. Oh, I'm happy about that. Okay. Let's cross the street here. Actually, that reminds me of an interesting story. When I was on my first trip to Tokyo, modeling trip, and I remember I left my portfolio, which is basically your like book with all your pictures that you take with you everywhere to show your clients. And like that's priceless to a model. Like, sure, I guess you could get all the pictures like you know, reprinted, but a lot of times you might have like magazine, you know, tear sheets in there and stuff that, you know, there's no way you'll ever get those back. And, you know, that's your work. That's your work. And I left mine, I think like at a subway stop or something like that. I forget where I left it, but I think I had been without it for like an hour before I realized. And I think I had like money in it too. There was like a pocket, and, you know, I just put some like pocket money or whatever in there, and I was like, oh my god, oh no, you know, I'm sure it's gonna be gone now or something. So I rushed back to where I thought I had left it, because I did remember where I last had it, and it was still there. Like, it was still there. I was so happy. And that is just a testament to Japan on a whole, where of course, you know, somebody could take it, but it's actually far more likely that it will still be there. Like even a purse or a wallet, a lot of times like the culture there just isn't wired like that, you know, to do something like that. So those kinds of places make me really happy and make me believe in the good of humanity. So I hope that in time, maybe every place in the world could be like that. That would be great. Oh, I'm gonna start huffing and puffing, guys, because I am going uphill here. My mom had written, "Эта улица напоминает мне Киеве." She said that this street reminds her of Kiev. And yes, I think, which street would this be? Taras Shevchenko Boulevard or whatever, at least the park, that'd be the one that it would remind me of in Kiev. Just reading your comments, guys. Laloki asks, do they respect stop signs in Ukraine? It depends. Sometimes. I don't know if I'd say that like the traffic is absolutely insane in Ukraine. Like it's definitely obviously not as calm and rule abiding as, let's say, Canada by any stretch, but I'd say Armenia was crazier for me. And even in Thailand, I mean, the traffic is pretty intense. You have to be a really good driver to operate in that kind of traffic. But yeah, I mean, people will definitely break the rules here, so you can't just assume that somebody's going to stop at a stop sign and go right away. Always just be watching and kind of take on the defensive. I was actually considering, renting a car here in Ukraine, but with this new opportunity that I'm going to be taking in the next few weeks, it doesn't leave me a whole bunch of time, to do other sorts of adventures outside of Kiev, but we'll see. We'll see if it makes more sense for me to rent a car or to just take the train. Because unfortunately, renting a car here per day, kind of a minimum of like $40 a day, which isn't insane, but I wouldn't do it unless I had a really good reason to. Whew. Oh, what the hell? The street ended. I'm on the beach, guys. I'm on the frickin' beach here. Guess they're still building the street. Whew. Getting a workout today. Oh, that's a happy story. Liv Sovereign comments, I forgot my bag with my passport in it in Dnipro McDonald's. I returned an hour later and it had been turned in. Well, that's a happy story right there. That's fantastic. I can imagine your panic and something like that happening. I'd like to say that hasn't happened to me before, but it has. I once literally left mine and my dad's passport, because I was in charge of keeping them safe, in a food court in Lima airport. Thankfully, yeah, somebody turned them in and they announced our names on the intercom to come to some desk. And I hadn't even realized at that point that I didn't have our passports. And they're like, are these yours? And we're like, oh yeah, thanks so much. So embarrassing. I've been really trying to take much better care of all my valuables ever since that day. So I'm glad that your passport was safe as well. Aw, thank you so much to John Houston. I will check my PayPal. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing good. Michael Jew asks, is there nonstop flights between Ukraine and Canada? As far as I know, there is between Toronto and Kiev, I think. For a while there, they did have a Ukrainian Airlines flight a few times a week out of Toronto. I don't know if there was ever one out of Montreal, but I think those were the only ones, because to fly direct from Vancouver, that would be 14 hours? That'd be a bit ridiculous. So I think it was just Toronto. Right now, I don't know. I don't know if they still fly that route. But when my mom flew here from Calgary, and many of the times when I used to fly here from Saskatchewan, we would usually either go through Amsterdam or Frankfurt. Those would be the top two through Canada. So I'm not sure what they are now. Oh guys, I'm like sweltering. I'm like sweltering. Talking, climbing a hill, having an upper body workout, carrying this gimbal. Whew. I'm a little winded. But let me flip here. This is a really cool restaurant here. I think it's an Italian one. Maybe I'll actually come here for supper. Looks very nice. All right. Well, we've officially been streaming for about an hour. I think I am overall on schedule. Oh, I missed a super chat from AshMax28. Thanks for bringing the world closer to me, Max from Dallas. Thank you so much, Max. It is my pleasure. I always, the nicest compliments, in my opinion, is when people tell me I've inspired them to go to a certain destination. That always makes my day. So as much as I can share with you guys about, these countries that I think have a lot to offer that maybe most Canadians and Americans especially don't know much about, I think that's me doing my best work, because I think there's no reason why any English speaker should be intimidated to come here, because it is becoming so much more English friendly with every year. Like, it really is. So don't feel like you're gonna get to the airport in Kiev and nobody's gonna understand you and somebody's gonna pickpocket you or something. Like, more than likely you will have an amazing time and see things that are, off the regular tourist beaten track, like Paris or London. So, добро пожаловать в Украину. Oh, one sec, friends. Holy heck. I think it's also talking, when you talk and walk and wear heavy layers of clothes, it gets hard while going up a hill. I always wondered how those workout instructors could, do a whole workout while telling you how to do the actual workout. Obviously, I'm not jumping around doing cardio, but it's still a workout. Okay. All right, guys, let's see here what you're saying. I'm not... Jesus, you guys are so obsessed with the river. We will get there. I'm going here because there's one very important attraction that is probably only 2 blocks away, guys, that wouldn't make sense for me to go to the river and then backtrack all the way here. But I promise you, we will see it. We will see the river. But I just want to show you a few things here on the way. Aw, thank you so much, Dolores. Yes, you have inspired me to travel to Ukraine. So it is on my bucket list when retired in a year. That is fantastic. I hope you have a wonderful time. It's definitely a great place, I think, for anybody who's retired as well, because it's overall, it's not a fast-paced kind of country. Even in the big cities, it's not going to be at the same pace as like a Tokyo or a Hong Kong or a New York or something. I think all the cities in Ukraine are actually fairly relaxed, which I think most people who retire prefer. I know when I'm 80, I'm probably not going to love being in a big, crazy city as much as I would in some more relaxed, nice, green kind of cities. Aw. Thank you so much to Alan K. Thanks for this tour and add to your after-stream dinner fund. Thank you so much, Alan. I will. I actually haven't had much to eat today either because I had breakfast and then I had a whole bunch of paperwork and computer work to do, and then before I knew it, I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go to the live stream. So I chugged a coffee on my way here, but I haven't had a second proper meal yet today, so I'm going to be having a lot for dinner today because I am going to be hungry after. Shannon asked, is the metro one of the old cool Soviet metro systems or is it more modern? I mean, I think they've done some updates to it, but I think most of it was built in Soviet times, and it does have like the old wagons and stuff, just judging from other people's videos, because I haven't gone on it yet. I plan on going tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, all of the metro systems in Ukraine, which there's only 3. There's only Kiev, Kharkiv, and Dnipro, which have metros. I think most of the stations were built in Soviet Union times. But they are building more now. Let's see here, guys. Yes, Claude, I will add my step count at the end of the stream. It actually probably won't be that high because I have been sitting at home most of the day. It probably won't be nearly as high as the first day I was here, but I'd estimate it's still for sure going to be over 15,000. Oh, that's nice to hear. Nonya, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, says Ukraine is a great place to visit, especially for Americans never been to Europe. I went in 2019 with no Russian or Ukrainian, had no problems. Yeah, see, that's great. I mean, of course, if you want to go to like really off the beaten path destinations, like small little villages, yeah, you know, probably people aren't gonna speak English that much. But if you're just coming here and sticking to the more central large cities, like you're gonna find people who can help you, you know, even if you're not in the downtown core of the city, like somebody will speak some English if you really need help. But with like Google Maps and being able to research everything online as well, like it's a lot easier now than it was even 10, 20 years ago. So this isn't a huge attraction, but I thought this was interesting because this is I think the main biblioteca of the city, which means library. And it is definitely from the Soviet Union. If they gave it a new coat of paint and did some repairs, I think this would actually be a very beautiful building. I think it is still working because I see lights on in there, so hopefully they don't let it just kind of depreciate over time, because some of these buildings are built very well, but they need to be upkept. I think it's a shame when we basically destroy buildings and 50 to 100 years after they're built. It's like if you build them super well and maintain them, they could probably last for much longer. So we are here. One of the main attractions that I wanted to show you guys. Let's begin with this first part here, where for a while this did have tanks and military gear from the Second World War, as the museum to my right is mainly of. But now they have actually turned this into, well, I guess an outdoor sort of exhibition of what's going on in the east, in Donetsk. If you guys can see the sign there in Ukrainian. So this is actually all pieces from that area of the country. It's all written in Ukrainian, so unfortunately I can't read it, but maybe anybody who can translate in the comments. I actually was just talking to a friend who I actually met her in Japan, but she is currently in Luhansk, which is kind of close to the area where there is conflict. And I asked her, you know, how has it been lately? And she said that thankfully, like, things have been fairly peaceful, you know, hasn't been any kind of, you know, warfare or anything going on recently. So that's good to hear. But yeah, I still don't know whether it's a good idea for me to try and go into, you know, that area of Ukraine, because you really never know. Like, you know, everything could be fine, but then all of a sudden, you know, things take a turn, and it's really not a good idea to just be there unless you know, have to be. And it's especially sad, like, if it's your actual, you know, home. I understand why some people still choose to, you know, stay there even with the conflict going on, which makes it even more sad. So that is what they have done with this outdoor sort of exhibition. But I will answer the super chats also in just a second, guys. I did see them. I'm just going to say one more comment before I do. This is Bitva za Dnipro. So I think translate to battle. Yeah, the battle for Dnipro. So this is a museum of a diorama, basically like a 3D sort of, you know, lifelike scene of what the big battle for over the Dnipro River was in World War II. I think it was in 1943 that it happened, where it was one of the most famous battles in World War II, because it was literally like going through the river where it was occupied by, you know, German forces or whatever, and the Soviet army fought them and was able to take over the left bank, but just like crazy warfare over the Dnipro River. So that is what this building is dedicated to. And if you guys come to Dnipro, this is definitely a place that you should pop into, because I believe the admission is actually free, which is surprising. But want to say a big thank you to the super chats that were sent in here. Thank you so much to Here Now. Hello, can I see your pretty face and what you're wearing today? Thanks. Well, thank you very much. This is my face and this is what I'm wearing today. So thank you very much. I saw one here from Katsu. Thank you so much as always, Katsu. Hi from Tokyo. What a nice waterfront city. Yes, it's definitely a beautiful waterfront city. We're getting closer to the river, guys. I promise it's going to be a nice sunset. Thank you so much, Katsu. And then Gediminas. Hi, Alina. I'm enjoying the stream today. Thanks. Dyakuyu. Please enjoy some golubtsi for dinner. Thank you so much. I definitely will. I actually haven't had golubtsi in quite a while, which is cabbage rolls. If you guys don't know the Ukrainian, or Russian, I guess I should say, golubtsi, chalubtsi in Ukrainian is cabbage rolls. And thank you so much to J. Lu. Do you own vyshyvanka or Ukrainian soccer or hockey shirt? I used to have a vyshyvanka, which is a like Ukrainian traditional shirt that it has kind of a cross stitch pattern. But that was when I was much younger, so I don't have one anymore. Would like to get one at some point. Would be nice to have that. So thank you guys so much for those lovely super chats. You are so sweet. Let me just flip the camera here as I give you a little bit more of a view of the military gear that they put over here. Some big tanks. We have some missiles as well, probably produced right here in Dnipro. Oh, my good friend Lane is here, currently eating breakfast, wishing it was cabbage rolls. Yes, girl. You're a Ukrainian heritage as well, so you definitely got to get in on those cabbage rolls as well. So as you guys can see, we have the plaque here. Can I read that? Диорама «Битва за Днепр открыта к столетию победы советского народа, Великий Отечественном I can't say that word. Отечественной войны. So yeah, the Great Patriotic War, I think is what it's translated to. But basically, yeah, it was built to commemorate that time. I'll just give you guys a view of that. And we are going to head on through the park. There's a really beautiful cathedral that we will pass. And thank you so much to World of Rajiv Sen. Hey Alina, any plans for Dubai? Dubai Expo is amazing, and I believe then visit India as it's a short flight from Dubai. Well, thank you very much, Rajiv. I definitely would love to visit both. I've only been to the airport in Dubai. I've never actually explored it, so it's definitely been on my list. And yeah, India as well, I would love to go back to. So probably not my next destinations, but definitely on the list. So thank you very much. All right, guys, let me give you a view of this church. And actually, I'm going to pick up the pace since it's a little bit darker than I thought it would be at this time. I swear every week it's like it gets darker 20 minutes earlier than I think it's going to. So I'm gonna pick up the pace so we get down to the river to see the actual sunset. If there is a sunset, I actually don't know which way the water faces. This church actually reminds me of one in St. Petersburg. Anybody get the correct name for me of what the famous one in St. Petersburg is called? It's also yellow and has like a big steeple like this one. I think they had some kind of, what do you call it? They had some kind of food booths here over the weekend. They're just cleaning up now. Let's see here. No, guys, the museum was closed. A couple people asked if I could go into the museum. No, I think they close at I don't think actually, maybe they're even open on Sundays, but I think they close at 5 p.m. or something. So usually museums don't stay open past 6. Yes, Mitos, thank you. The Admiralty in St. Petersburg. That's what that reminded me of. Very beautiful. Who wrote that comment? Illith, I think, wrote next live stream Chernobyl. Lol, I'm joking. That would be a live stream for sure. I mean, why not? When I was in Chernobyl 3 years ago, I mean, I filmed everything, so there's no reason why I couldn't do a live stream. The only thing that I'd probably have to do is get a private tour guide who, shows me where I can go and gives me my own free time, because with the group tours you kind of just got to follow along and you don't have time to go do your own thing. But that would definitely be a super cool live stream. Maybe at some point I will do that. Actually, that's a question for you guys. Would you go to the Chernobyl exclusion zone just to do a tour? And obviously, they take you to the places where there's not as much radiation, but would you actually feel safe to go in that kind of place, because in the last few years that has definitely become one of the most popular sorts of tourist attractions, if you can call it that, in Ukraine. A lot more people have been going there. Just get across the street here. All right. Yeah, that's true, David. All right, friends. Great. Okay, so we are now going to head all the way down to the Dnipro, and I really like what they've done with this park here. Obviously, all of this is like newly built. I think some of those buildings are like apartment buildings, some are like just business offices, but I think this would actually be a really nice area of the city to live in because it's a bit quieter. You're close to the water, but have all these like really nice restaurants around, and it's only about like a 15-minute walk to the other downtown core. So I really like what they've done with this area. Restaurant called Soulfish. Cute. There's actually supposed to be a very good Italian restaurant somewhere on this street, and I think I'm going to go there for my main video of the city. I think the topic that I'm going to do for the Dnipro video is like how much I spend in a day, because I haven't done one of those kinds of videos in Ukraine ever, I don't think. So a lot of you guys have asked, you know, what's an average day? Like, what do I spend in an average day? So I think that's the video that I'm going to do for Dnipro. Look at this. I guess those are like lounge chairs or a playground for children. It can be whatever you want it to be. And there's even a hammock. If you saw my Instagram story, I was in that hammock a few days back. They did a really good job with this area. Oh my God, those kids are reckless. They're gonna fall off. Very nice. I always love very well-made public spaces. It's so important. Gonna go through another park. As I said, this is a very green city. Maybe not quite as big green spaces as Kharkiv had, but still very impressive. Like, I think, honestly, both Dnipro and Kharkiv have bigger green spaces than Kiev, if I'm not mistaken. Like, I don't feel like there's any parks in Kiev in the center of the city that are super, super big. Like, the botanical gardens are, I guess, a fair size, but still not that big. So it's nice to see this and basically the center of the city. Global Nico asks a good question, which maybe somebody else can answer for me because I don't know. But any foods or delicacies that are unique to Dnipro? None that I know of, but yeah, if anybody can comment that, I would actually like to know that, because then I could film it for my video. I think it is just mainly the traditional Ukrainian food that you can find all over the country, but I don't know of one particular dish that Dnipro is known for. Kaz asks, have you been to Kherson? Am I saying that right? Kherson. I haven't been there before, as you can see by my pronunciation. But I think that's the city that is close to the crazy sand dunes that are here in Ukraine. For anybody who has heard about that cool attraction. I think that's the city that's close to it. So actually, maybe if I don't have a lot of time after my visit back to Kiev, maybe I would make a trip out to there just for that. And probably I think you have to stay overnight in the city and then just drive out to the sand dunes during the day. One sec, guys. Aw, thank you very much to Michael for the lovely comment about me opening his eyes to the beauty of Eastern Europe. After last year's trip to Bulgaria, it really makes me consider that it's a great location to retire to. Yeah, it definitely is. Even my dad, actually, of all people, was like, you know, I really like what I saw in Bulgaria and Albania and stuff, you know, basically all the Balkan region. So he's, you know, considering actually doing less work, as he should, at like 73 years old as he is now. And he might actually spend a bit more time, you know, in the Balkans, since he really seemed to like kind of, you know, the vibe of the places that I visited. So I think it would be a really nice place to retire in. Oh, and we do have a Bulgarian here. Hello, Victor. Love all my Bulgarian subscribers. I had so many people reach out to me with kind words and support from Bulgaria when I was there. Very welcoming country. Fred asks, hi Alina, other than your beauty, I like your personality and your knowledgeable, educated narrating. What's your educational background, and explain, sorry, I can't read and walk at the same time. What's your education background that explains this much good, the details? Well, I never went to university, if that's what you're asking. I just finished high school, and then I basically went on modeling contracts, did some traveling, started a whole bunch of different businesses, you could say. Some did well, some others not so much. I had lots of part-time jobs, so other than going to film school for about 3 months and then dropping out, I have actually never had any formal secondary education. Basically all just self-taught kind of stuff. So that is my answer to that. Aw, thank you to Jim Ross for the super chat. Well, my major takeaway from this live stream is that Alina is not a multimillionaire who won't pay $500 for a hairdo. Here I thought all wealth was tied up in stocks and bonds. Thought she's living on her royalties. No, unfortunately not yet, Jim, but thank you very much. It's a work in progress, you could say, but even if I was a multimillionaire, I don't know if I would necessarily see the benefit of paying $500 to get my hair colored. Like, it would have to be some kind of magic to make it worth that. I think it might be worth it if, let's say, you had like a really, you know, messed up hair job. If, let's say, maybe you like try to do your own hair. If my fellow ladies know what I'm talking about, you know, you bleach your own hair and it comes out in 20 different shades and you don't know how to get it back to a normal state, and they have to spend like 8 to 10 hours in the salon fixing it, then I would say it's probably worth it. Probably very hard for a hair colorist to do that. But as far as just like dyeing it basically a couple different shades, no, I wouldn't say that $500 is a normal price that I would pay. Oh, is my dad here? Gordon McLeod. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. We were just talking about you in a good way. Okay, guys, it is getting dark, unfortunately. How do I get out of here? This is only my second time in this park, so I'm just gonna flip the camera. Can I go down here, or do I have to go down there? You will see the river soon. I'll actually try and take you guys just on the bridge to give you the best view, because they have an island here. if you guys didn't know. They have a full-blown island. I can go down there, but I'm gonna go this way. It's actually nicer down here. She's really close to the river. Yes, yes, guys, I'm getting there. I have never had a live stream where people were this excited about the river. I will keep it in mind for future videos. Actually, speaking of the Dnipro River, which goes through a lot of Ukrainian cities, not just Dnipro, or Dnipropetrovsk. I assume you can guess that that's where the name comes from, is from the Dnipro River. They have the Dnipro, like I said, in so many different cities, and I'd say Kiev probably, you know, has one of the best boardwalks as well, and it's a part of the city that I don't think I've really done much content about, like Podil, near the boardwalk, since my last Kiev live stream really was just in the downtown core. I never really went down there. I think maybe before I go, I'll do another live stream, but do it from the river. So stay tuned for that. Look at those beautiful colors. How nice. All right, guys, one sec. I love your comments, guys. I'm so excited for your excitements. Yes. This is actually a really nice place to just come out and hang out as well. Oh, can I not get down from here? No, why? Okay, I do have to go down. Yeah, I do. In the meantime, want to say a big thank you to Martin B. Thank you so much. Thanks, Alina. Another great tour. My pleasure, Martin. We're not quite done yet. I will give you guys an extensive view, and we'll see how the light holds up, but maybe we can do a quick walk over to the island. As I mentioned, it's called Monastery Island, just I guess Monastery Island would be the translation, because there is a beautiful church on it. There's even beaches that stretch from the island, which would be really nice in the summertime. So if the light holds up, then we can even do a little walk on over to there. We've been going for, let me switch here. We've been going for about an hour and a half, guys. See, we did make it in the time that I thought, but the light's just unfortunately gone more than I thought it would be. I don't know how much earlier I can start these things. If I started even half an hour earlier, that would basically be 9:30 for Eastern time, but for let's give you guys a view from over here first. But for like Vancouver, LA area, gosh, that's going to be like 7:30, or is it 6:30? It becomes very early, so it's hard when it gets into the winter time for the time difference, because I can't really do it in your evening and my morning unless I get up at like 5 or 6 a.m. and that's absolutely not ideal for me, and everything is closed, so we're gonna have to make the best of these times, I guess. Oh, I want to say quick thank you here. Oh no, oh, I almost closed my live stream. That would have been bad. I want to say a big thank you to Dragon Howl. Thank you so much for the super chat. You have a very scary avatar picture, but thank you so much. Alan Rule, привет из Калгари, привет. Спасибо большое, очень приятно. You guys are so sweet. Oh, and thank you to Rahul. Thank you for this wonderful tour of Dnipro. Like Kharkiv, I'm thoroughly impressed how developed it is. Totally, I too am very impressed, and you know, I had the wrong impression that I thought, you know, Dnipro probably was going to be, you know, super Soviet. not too much, new of anything built, but it's definitely the opposite. For example, just take a look at these buildings right here. Definitely all recent builds. And here you can kind of get a view of the boardwalk, and a whole bunch of new skyscrapers over here as well. Let me actually stand up on this platform. Yeah. It's a very beautiful city, like very impressive. So thank you, Rahul. Thank you so much. And thank you to all the people who sent super chats. It's greatly appreciated with all your support. And just honestly, like just coming here helps so much. All 465 of you right now, greatly appreciated that you guys come out and see these beautiful places with me, because I think, it has so much to offer. Why don't more foreigners come here? So the people at my hostel won't be so shocked when I come here and they call me a foreigner. So guys, let's make a quick run for it to the bridge before the sun. If I remember correctly, I just go down here and we can get to the bridge. Usually I walk my routes more than once, but with Dnipro, I only gave myself 4 days here, thinking that it's not going to be like a huge city with a lot of attractions or whatever. But yeah, there's ended up being much more to see than I anticipated. So I technically only walked this route once. So I'm glad I remembered as much as I did, but I didn't remember absolutely everything. Oh, thank you so much to David Finzi. Hey Alina, I'm at my friend's house and his roommate is from Ukraine. Very cool. I love watching you stream these and just living life with positive light. Thank you so much, David. That is so kind of you. And yeah, it's my pleasure to do these streams, and I'm very excited to be able to do them as much. Like, I'll still try and do them when I can in my next destinations, but unfortunately, because it is more of a safety risk to be walking around with your phone like this, it makes you a very easy target for people that want to steal phones off people and have no shame about doing it in broad day. I don't think I can just walk down the central part of the places I'm going to and do these streams. So unfortunately, once I leave Ukraine, it probably won't be as often for the next few months. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it actually won't be as bad as. Well, that was unexpected. Am I back, guys? Am I live? Let me know. I'm so sad. We basically lost half the room there. Oh no. What terrible timing. And for me to do that right before we get to the river, that would have been horrible. I don't know what happened. Literally, at first it just froze and I was like, okay, sometimes signal goes, it'll be back in, 10 seconds. No, the screen stayed black, and then just totally everything from the stream cut. I closed it, closed my YouTube app, and then I couldn't even get YouTube to open. So I don't think it was actually the connection. I think something was wrong with YouTube itself. So don't know what that was about, but sorry for the bad timing. I hope we still get a couple people back who really wanted to see the river, because that's where we are now. All right, guys. Yeah, we're coming back up to 300 people, so it is what it is. These things happen. Thankfully, we're back. So this is the main bridge that leads to Monastery Island. And look, Niagara Falls, right there. Right there, guys. We've got the beautiful Dnipro River and a gorgeous view of the boardwalk. Right here the boardwalk is like a little bit shorter. I think they're currently doing construction, so this part continues to extend. But if you get past, you know, I'd say a kilometer right here, it's a really nice open boardwalk. So it's a really beautiful place to go for a morning run. Look how nice this is. I'll give you guys a view from the other side here. And yeah, like cute little falls there, lovely church right on the point. And there's actually another bridge over here, which, am I mistaken that it's a train bridge or something like that? I thought that was in the name or something when I saw it, but I don't quite know for sure. Aw. Just want to say a big thank you to Brianna B once again. Next time, have more tokens to avoid interruptions of the internet. Thank you so much, lovely. I think it was YouTube, like strangely enough, because yeah, the app wouldn't like open or anything like that. So I don't know what that was about. So thank you so much, Brianna. And I just realized that I think I missed 2 super chats, so just want to address that. Jim Ross, thank you once again. As always, a great walk and talk with Alina. She opens my eyes to so many spectacular places that I never hear of. Very pretty city. I'm not half as winded as I thought I'd be till the next time. Thanks muchly. I'll work out. Thanks, Jim. I'm glad that you're feeling good, because I'm definitely winded. But it was a great walk, so thank you so much for coming out and supporting. And thank you so much to SFC Paul. You are amazing. Thank you so much for the super sticker. You guys are so sweet. And yeah, I think I was saying thank you to Rahul before I left. So thank you so much to everybody for that. I hope I didn't miss anyone. So let me give you guys another view here before it gets super, super dark. I don't think we'll go all the way over to Monastery Island. I think I will just show you guys that in the video I do here. We'll kind of end things off on the bridge here just because it is so pretty. Very beautiful. Aw. Just want to say thank you to Martin once again. Have a nice evening, Alina. Thank you, Martin. I hope you do as well. Thank you for the super chat. But yeah, look at this. Oh, it's red. I didn't see red before. That is nice. Very peaceful water as well. Like it's a fairly wide body of water, but it's actually quite calm. And the bridge is so long, isn't it? Like, I think just to drive across it would be a couple of minutes. So just for reference, like I said before, I'm pointing to the right part of the city, the right bank, and that's where the downtown core is. Usually if you're going to stay in Dnipro, I would overall, recommend staying on the right side, because that's where you're gonna have more accommodation options and restaurants and all that kind of stuff. The left bank is gonna be a bit harder if you're just an English speaker, because I think it is more like local residential sort of buildings. There's, more of the factories over there on the left bank side. Like this is the island, obviously, left bank is behind it. So you can go over there, but it just, it takes a while to get to the right. And I think there's probably more for you to see if you came here on the right bank. Everybody's out exploring for the night. And yeah, honestly, as we were talking about, safety, guys, I think unless you are in, some dark alley, in Ukraine or something by yourself, it's overall a very safe city. Of course, anything can happen. You still have to be aware of your surroundings. But I think on a whole, you're not going to find it any more dangerous than any North American city, and probably safer than certain North American cities. So definitely, I wouldn't think that the safety aspect would be a big issue for most people visiting. Oh, thank you very much. to Bob Appleman. Thank you so much for the delightful tour. My pleasure, Bob. Thank you so much for the support. You guys are so incredibly kind. And I think actually on that note, I am going to close things off, guys. One more look of the river, just so you guys get one more glance of this gorgeous place. I'm gonna have some beautiful drone shots in the video over the river, so you'll actually get some great shots of it during the day, but I thought that this would be a great place to watch the sunset instead of the middle of the city. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I am going to head back to that street with that pizza place or that Italian place that I passed. I'm gonna get some food in me, and I'm going to get to bed because tomorrow I am filming the main video all day and then jumping on the train in the evening to go back to Kiev. So lots of good stuff to come, guys. Thank you so much for coming out. Sending you lots of love, and keep being your own